Hello and warm greetings to everyone. My name is Dr. Meenu Anand and I teach in the Department of Social Work known as Delhi School of Social Work at University of Delhi. Today, we are going to understand the biological aspects of human growth and development. When we say biological aspects, we mean the physiological aspects, bodily aspects, that is, the physical aspects of growth and development. We are going to discuss and understand about how an individual physically grows from being a single cell to a fully functioning organism with intricate bodily systems as well as intricate mechanisms. This talk will comprise of number one, an overview of the concept of development. We will cover the lifespan perspective and we will be focusing upon the biological aspects of 4 stages of lifespan, starting from the prenatal stage, moving towards babyhood, early as well as middle childhood stages of the lifespan. Now, for the other 4 stages, we have another video which is part 2 of this topic. When we complete this video, the learning outcomes expected to be developed among the learners will include number one, we will be able to develop an understanding of what exactly is the concept of development. Number two, we will understand about the lifespan perspective. Number three, we will be able to comprehend the biological aspects of 4 stages of lifespan in detail: prenatal stage, babyhood, early and middle childhood stages of lifespan. Now, let's try to understand what is development. Now, when we try to understand development, the American Psychological Association, commonly referred to as APA, its dictionary defines development as the progressive series of changes in the structure, function, and behavioral patterns that occur over the lifespan of a human being or other organisms. In other words, development refers to the qualitative changes in the manner an individual grows, changes, adapts, and matures. Within the discipline of psychology, development psychology, also known as human development or lifespan psychology, is a branch of psychology that focuses on how human beings grow, change, adapt, and mature over different stages of lifespan. According to the lifespan perspective, human beings' lifespan is divided into 8 stages, and these stages begin from conception and end with the death of the individual. The lifespan perspective around development emphasizes that human growth and change are ongoing processes that occur throughout a person's entire life, right from conception till death. Lifespan perspective views development as multidimensional, multidirectional, plastic, and being influenced by various contextual factors. At each stage, there are certain developmental tasks that have to be attained by the individual, certain milestones that have to be met according to that stage of the individual. Our human lifespan is divided into 8 stages. First is prenatal stage, second, infancy and babyhood, third is early childhood, fourth is middle childhood, fifth is adolescence, sixth is young adulthood, seventh is middle adulthood, commonly known as middle age, and the final stage, which is the 8th stage, is known as the old age. Now, in this video, we are going to cover the first 4 stages of lifespan. My dear friends, can you guess which is the first stage of the lifespan? It is from the time when the baby is born, or it is from the time when conception takes place. Isn't it very interesting? Now, when we think of beginning of human life, we often usually imagine a newborn, cuddly baby. However, dear friends, the first stage is not from the time when the child is born. In fact, the first stage of lifespan begins when the baby is a single cell that has just got formed inside the mother's womb. This stage is known as the prenatal stage. The prenatal stage begins right from conception and it continues for 9 months, that is till the birth. The prenatal stage is a very, very beautiful stage, and I feel that the beauty of Mother Nature is the beginning of human life, which takes place when the baby is conceived. Life begins not from birth, but life actually indeed begins at the moment of conception. That is, the time when a female reproductive cell, the ovum, commonly referred to as the egg cell, is fertilized by a male reproductive cell, the spermatozoon, commonly known as the sperm cell. This is approximately 266 days before actual birth. The beginning of human life is very, very intriguing and extremely fascinating. Now, in order to understand prenatal phase in a very, very simple way, let's try to divide it into three stages. The first stage is germinal stage, second stage is the embryonic stage, and the third stage is the fetal stage. Now, embryonic stage begins when the woman ovulates, which means from ovulation to first 2 weeks of pregnancy. This is a time when the ovum travels down the fallopian tube, is fertilized by a sperm, and is then implanted within the wall of the uterus. The second stage of the prenatal period is the embryonic stage. Embryonic stage is from 2 to 8 weeks of pregnancy. The third stage is the fetal stage, which is from 8 weeks of pregnancy till the birth stage. Now let's understand the germinal stage, which is from the ovulation to the second week of pregnancy. Now, all pregnancies begin when the sperm cell and the egg cell unite. Roughly 14 days before the menstrual period, a woman ovulates, which implies that a mature egg from one of her ovaries is released into the fallopian tube. Now, during the sexual intercourse, a man ejaculates millions and millions of sperms. You will be very surprised to know that each cubic inch of ejaculated sperm may contain 300 million swimming sperms. Out of these millions and millions of sperms that are ejaculated into the woman's vagina, swimming through the cervix into the uterus of the woman, only one will penetrate the wall of the mature ovum in the fallopian tube. Most of the other sperm cells, they get lost in the vagina or in the fallopian tube. Sperm cell can live for only 48 hours, and remember that ovum is receptive only for about 12 to 24 hours. Conception is therefore limited only for this 72 hours period in each menstrual cycle, and the environment in the reproductive tract at this time is very friendly, or in scientific words, alkaline. On other days, the reproductive tract environment is too acidic for the sperm to survive. Now, the process when the ovum from the woman and the sperm from the man unite, that is, when the sperm cell penetrates the wall of the ovum, is known as fertilization. At this stage, the nuclei from the two cells approach each other. There is a breakdown in the membrane surrounding each, and the two nuclei merge together. The new cell is therefore formed, and this new cell has 23 pairs of chromosomes. One half are coming from the male, and the other half is coming from the female cell. This new cell is known as the zygote. My dear friends, this is the one very beautiful cell, zygote, which will actually grow into a full human baby in 9 months. So, the germinal stage begins from the moment fertilization has taken place and lasts for 2 weeks of the gestation period. During this stage, cells specialize into those that will actually become the body of the fetus and those that will become the structures needed to support its development. We have to know that at this stage of the first 2 weeks, the cell division is very, very fast. And by the 4th day, the zygote actually contains dozens of cells. On the day 5, the cells become a hollow, fluid-filled ball known as the blastocyte. And inside the blastocyte, there are cells which will eventually become the embryo, and these begin to clump together. On the day 6th or 7th, the blastocyte comes in contact with the uterine wall, and by the 12th day, it is completely buried in the uterine tissue, and this process is known as implantation. Some of the cells of the blastocyte's outer wall combine with the cells of the uterus and its lining, and they begin to create placenta. You must have heard about placenta. It is the organ that allows oxygen, nutrients, and other substances to be transferred between the mother and the baby's blood. The placenta is specialized structure and it brings the mother's and the baby's blood close to each other without allowing them to mix. It secretes hormones that stop the mother's menstrual periods and keep the placenta connected to the uterus. Other placental hormones allow the bones of the woman's pelvis to become more flexible, induce breast changes, and increase the mother's metabolism rate. At the same time, the blastocytes inner cells begin to specialize. One group of cells will become the umbilical cord, the organ that connects the embryo to the placenta. The vessels in the umbilical cord carry blood from the baby to the mother and back again. Other cells will form the yolk sac, a structure that produces blood cells until the embryo's blood cell producing organs are formed. Still, there are cells which will become the amnion, a fluid-filled sac in which the baby floats until just before he or she is born. By the 12th day, the cells that will become the embryo's body are also formed. Friends, isn't this so amazing that in 2 weeks, one cell has actually laid the entire foundation in the mother's body for protecting the fetus? Let's understand stage 2 of the prenatal period, and that is the embryonic stage, which begins when the germinal stage completes, that is at the beginning of 2 weeks of pregnancy and lasts up to 8 weeks. The word embryo comes from the Greek word embryon, which means to swell or to be full of. You know, the embryo is full of millions and millions of cells. The embryonic stage begins at implantation approximately 2 weeks after conception and continues till the 8th week of pregnancy. By the time a woman starts to think that she might be pregnant, that is, she misses her period, usually 3 weeks after conception, the embryo cells have already started to specialize and come together to form the foundations of the baby's organs. For example, the cells of the nervous system, the neurons, form a structure called the neural tube, from which the brain and the spinal cord will develop. A primitive heart and the forerunners of the kidneys also develop during week 3, along with the 3 sacs that will become the digestive system. In week 4, dear friends, the end of embryo's neural tube swells to form the brain. Spots that will become the eyes of the baby appear on the embryo's head, and the baby's heart, embryo's heart begins to beat. The backbone and the ribs become visible as bone and muscle cells move into their places. The face of the embryo starts to take shape and the endocrine system begins to develop. Isn't it so beautiful that by week 5, the embryo is about 1/4 inch long, 10,000 times larger than the zygote. The arms and the legs are developing rapidly at this time. 5 fingers are visible on the hands of the embryo. The eyes have corneas and lenses, and the lungs are beginning to develop. In 6th week, the embryo's brain begins to produce patterns of electrical activity and it moves in response to stimuli. During week 7, embryo begins to move spontaneously. He or she has visible skeletons and fully developed limbs. The bones are beginning to harden and the muscles are maturing. By this point, the embryo can maintain a semi-upright posture. The eyelids seal shut to protect the developing eyes. The ears are completely formed at this stage and the X-rays can detect tooth buds in the jaw bones. During the last week of the embryonic stage, that is week 8, the liver and spleen begin to function. These organs allow the embryo to make and filter his or her own blood cells. The heart is well developed and efficiently pumps blood to every part of the body. The embryo's movements increase as electrical activity in the brain becomes more organized. Connections between the brain and rest of the body are also very well established. The embryo's digestive and urinary systems are functioning. By the end of 8th week, organogenesis, that is the technical term for organ development, is complete. Isn't this so amazing? Embryonic stage, when it ends, all the organ systems are formed for the embryo. Let's understand the third and the final stage of prenatal development, that is the fetal stage. And this begins from 8th week till the birth. The fetal in the third and the final phase grows from a weight of about 7 grams and a length of 1 inch to a baby who weighs about 3 kilograms and has about length of 20 inches, ready to be born. This stage involves refinements of the organ systems that are essential to life outside the mother's womb. In the third month of pregnancy, the fetus has a disproportionately large but a human looking head, and he or she begins to start kicking. In the fourth month, the fetus grows more quickly than any other month, and he or she is about 6 inches and about 113 grams. The mother can now feel the movements first as a light flutter and then as a tick on the abdomen. In the fifth month, fetus is about 10 inches long and the mother begins to show her pregnancy as her abdominal walls expand to accommodate the growing fetus. During the sixth month of pregnancy, eyelids of the fetus open and he or she can look up and down and to the sides. However, this 6 months fetus is still vulnerable and is barely equipped to survive in case born prematurely. In the seventh month, the fetus is about 14 to 15 inches long and weighs about 907 grams. There are at this stage 50-50 chances of survival in case the fetus is born prematurely. Brain at this stage is more mature and can regulate breathing, body temperature, and the fetus is able to swallow. In the eighth month, body of the fetus starts preparing for the life outside the comfort of the mother's womb. In the ninth month, fetus is about 10 inches long and weighs about 3.1 kilograms. A heavy head makes the fetus settle down with the skull wedged into the mother's pelvic girdle. Placenta releases oxytocin hormone, which prepares the mother's body to make milk and usher in the birth process. Isn't this so beautiful and amazing that in 266 days, a single cell zygote has grown into a unique human infant ready for life outside the mother's womb? The prenatal phase ends with the process of birth. The second stage in the human lifespan is stage number 2, which is infancy and babyhood stage. It begins right from the time of the birth and continues till the first 3 years of human being's life. Once the gestation is complete, and the fetus must be born, an event that holds some pain as well as good deal of joy for most parents. The process of labor comprises of 3 stages. The first stage is the early stage known as the latent phase. In this stage, dilation and effacement of cervix takes place. The second stage is known as the active phase. Here, expulsion of fetus takes place. Third and the final stage is the transition phase where the expulsion of placenta takes place. Now, in the first stage, early stage, dilation and effacement of cervix takes place. The uterine muscles start contracting and initially the contractions can be about 15 to 20 minutes apart, lasting for 15 seconds to 60 seconds. These stretch the cervix, which is the opening through the cervix through which the fetus can pass into the vagina into the outside world. As labor intensifies, the uterus contracts more intensely every 2 to 5th minute, which open the cervix to the last inch and the baby's body begins to push through. The first stage of labor may last as few as 3 hours or maybe even up to 20 hours, especially if the delivery is the first delivery for the woman. Expulsion of the fetus is the second phase. This is the active phase of the labor process and this begins when the cervix is about 3 to 4 centimeters dilated and continues until dilation has reached about 8 centimeters. This is when the uterine contractions are closer together and much more intense. This stage has the contractions appearing every minute and these are very, very intense. The crown of the infant's head begins to appear. In the third and the final stage, transition phase, the expulsion of placenta takes place. The last 2 centimeters of dilation are achieved during this phase and contractions are closely spaced and very strong. Women often find this very painful. This phase is also typically very brief though, and delivery of placenta, also called as afterbirth and other material from the uterus takes place. Friends, This phase of childbirth is very critical and very significant life event for not only the mother but also for the newborn baby. In the 9 months, a single cell has grown into a full grown human baby who is ready to experience the joys of the world. During the first month of life, the newborn baby is known as neonate. Birth and infancy stage is the foundation age for formation of behaviors, attitudes, and is also marked by rapid growth and development that makes the baby increasingly independent. During infancy, bones change in size, number, and also composition. Physical and motor development takes place very rapidly. There are gross motor skills that the children have to develop. By gross motor skills, we mean the physical abilities that involve large body movements, for example, walking, for example, jumping. At this stage, the child also has to develop fine motor skills. Now, these are physical abilities which involve small body movements, especially of hand and fingers. For example, picking up a coin, picking up small beads. These are also to be developed. At the age of 1 month, now stepping reflex is present and the baby is able to lift his or her head slightly. When it comes to fine motor skills, the baby can try to hold object if placed in the hand. At the second month or the third month, now the baby is able to lift head up to 90-degree angle when lying on his or her stomach. Now, he or she is also begin to swipe at objects in sight. Now, at the age of 4 to 6 months, now the baby is able to roll over from side to side. He or she is able to sometimes sit with support. He or she can move on hands and knees, can creep, can hold head erect when sitting in with support. Now, he or she also reaches for and is able to grasp objects. Around 7 to 9 months, the baby is able to sit without support and is also able to crawl. In terms of fine motor skills, the baby is able to transfer objects from one hand to another. By the age of 10 to 12 months, he or she is able to pull himself or herself up and is able to walk with support and gradually is able to walk alone, is able to even squat. Now, there are preferences that children begin to show in terms of using left hand or right hand for grasping. At the age of 13 to 18 months, the child is also able to walk backwards, sideways, and is also able to run, especially during 14 to 20 months of age. Now, she or he is also able to clap. Now, during 19 to 24 months, that is by the age of 2 years, he or she is able to walk up and down the staircase, is able to take 2 feet per step, and is also able to jump. Now, by 2 or 3 years of age, the child is able to run easily, climbs on the furniture without any kind of help, and is also able to pick up small objects and throw white ball while standing. The lungs of children also grow rapidly and become more efficient during the first 2 years. They have lot of stamina and they can actually sustain in play for fairly long period of time. And it is also the time when parents are running after the little ones and who don't seem to get tired at all. Now, when we look at the third stage, which is the early childhood, this is from 3 years to 6 years of age. Now, this is the time when the height and the weight increase for the baby. Chubby fats goes with the reduction in fat tissue. Child can climb, jump, throw and is very active. Self-help skills, fine motor skills develop and toilet training at this time is a huge accomplishment to be achieved for the child. Now, the fourth stage is the middle childhood stage, which begins from 6 years and lasts up to 12 years of age. In terms of physical development, we have to remember that children grow about 2 to 3 inches now every year and add to about 2.7 kilograms. Now, large muscle coordination continues to improve and children are able to develop fine motor skills and gross motor skills because strength and speed are also increasing. Eye-hand coordination improves a lot As a result, school-age children perform more skillfully when it comes to activities requiring coordination of vision with body movements. For example, shooting, basketball, or playing a musical instrument. Now, this is also the time when illnesses have to be watched, accidents in terms of falls, for example, have to be watched, and we have to watch out for temper tantrums, withdrawal symptoms, eating disorders, so many other hazards which have to be aware of. In the next video, we will discuss the 5th, 6th, 7th and the 8th stages of lifespan. We will continue with the discussion from there. Thus, to summarize, our topic of biological aspects of human growth and development 1, we have covered the concept of development, we have done the concept of lifespan and the first 4 stages in terms of the biological development. I hope you have understood the topic of biological aspects of human growth and development part 1. Happy learning to everybody. You can refer to the following references to gain a deeper insight into the topic. Thank you.